This is Dr. Carl Livingston, and you watching Peeps and Views. He just got out of prison, and he still had a nation to build. And Nelson Mandela stood up to them black people and said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. You're playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Now this man said that to a people that still had to build their nation. And he was letting them know, I ain't scared. We can do this. Let's get ready and do it.
So welcome everybody to Peeps and Views. I am here with
Carl Livingston, professor at Seattle Central Community College. I am a pastor of Kingdom Christian Center, and I am an author of Shoestrings and Bootstraps, a development plan for Black America.
And he's one of my mentors as well. I've known him for a long time, and he's always gave me wise words of wisdom. One of my questions today was the Black Lives Matter movement. How did that affect you, if it did in any way?
The Black Lives Matter movement affects me in a very positive way because it's a young people's movement mainly. And it's young people taking the initiative to speak up to stop the killing of African Americans by police and folks in a position of police, like maybe some security guard or something like that. It's not old people really doing this. It's not my generation doing it. It's the younger people doing it, so it impresses me. And it helps me see that desire to stand up and to make a difference is still alive and it's still strong in our community.
That's good. My second question would be, with all the gun violence, not just everyday violence, but gun violence that's happening over the last summer. And I know you mentor a lot of people. How do you, what do you tell these young men that are out here that's trying to enjoy themselves, but they feel like they always need to be protected with a gun?
Well, first of all, I got folks in my own family, and with them, I got more of a voice. And so with them, I'm trying to speak kind of strong to them because I've already done some things for them, like an uncle or like a cousin that cares or like a dad, so that I can speak into their lives. And so I'm talking to them about, not resorting to gun violence, especially if they got time to think, if they got time to squash something. There's still situations in which, though, our folks have to defend themselves if somebody's trying to kill them, if somebody's trying to hurt them. I just had a situation like that this summer where I had relatives live on the line, and we were able to intervene to stop it from turning into a beef that led to blood on the ground. Now you got the blacks, though, that are not in my community. What can I say to them? That's why I'm working hard in the community to bring some things to help our people, because I can't come up to folks that I don't know, that I haven't done anything for, and speak into their lives. They're gonna look at me like, man, who are you, man? You better back up, because I don't know you. And so what I'm trying to do is bring contracts and jobs back to the black community so that I can speak to them like a father or a cousin that cares, like I can to my own people, to help, because our folks are out there struggling. And there's a lot of stupidity too that cause us to resort to them guns instead of working with the hands. And so we got to tell our people that we care, but we also have to deal with reality. And some of them are doing that, and we got to do everything we can to get to them. We got to do everything we can to give them some positive alternatives to show them that we care. And it's not an easy thing. There's no one answer. We also got to go to the fathers out there and the cousins that are there that are not speaking up enough. because too many black men that do have influence over somebody with a gun in their hand is just saying, oh, you know, you got to handle your business and all of that. And no, you can speak into that person's life and squash something. And every black life has to matter. It has to matter not only that police sometimes are shooting our folk. It has to matter that we shooting our own folk. And we gotta get this thing under control and solve it, because it is part of a system that is trying to kill us. Yeah, it's complicated, and it is a situation in which it has gotten even harder in the past about 3 decades for our people, and you would think it would have gotten a whole bunch better. It's gotten better in some ways, but it has gotten worse for African American, for the big group, the lower middle class and the lower class money-wise. We really ain't low, because we come from a high people. We come from the folks that started this thing. I'm talking about just money. And so for the average working African American, it's just about as bad as it was under segregation. And so we got to figure out how to solve this problem. And I'm realizing now, just as they say, some of the leaders in the Black Lives Matter movement say, the system is working. It was planned. It was a plan to bring us down. Every major move to bring us down basically started with an S. The slave trade, slavery, the segregation, and now the Southern strategy. And black people barely know what the Southern strategy is. This thing has been in operation since about 66, 68, somewhere in there. And it was a plan to take away all the gains that we received in the 60s and the 70s to keep us at the bottom, and to use a few black people that make it to hold the rest of the blacks down that are not making it. We still got to figure it out. We're the people that solved the Ebola problem that's still part of the international Southern strategy in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. That just happened. There were people saying it was going to devastate Liberia and Sierra Leone because they ain't got the healthcare infrastructure. They solved that problem. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a conference every year now because I'm determined I'm going to bring contracts and jobs to Black Seattle. It is so hard because when it comes down to money, they don't want to give black people money. They don't want to help black people. And there are black people in positions that don't want to do anything for black people. Terrell, you helped me in a big way at this conference. But there are black people that didn't help at this conference. And I realize now, it ain't just about my conference. There's the Africatown movement. I got to help Africatown. I got to help them because at the end of the day, there's a brother out there, there's a sister out there trying to make it, ain't got no opportunities. And if we stay divided, we're never going to build something big enough that's going to get to them and give them some better options. I got to help every major black group trying to do something. And I got to stand up, look at them in the eye and say, now you help me. And we're going to help each other lift ourselves. And we're going to solve this like we solved everything else that try to destroy us.
Right now, if you had anything that you had on your mind or anything that you wanted to tell the people right now, go ahead and let it off your chest.
Well, the thing that I want to say is, I'm looking all right. I got this little jacket on. I just halfway did this little haircut, and I got this little office. But what I want you to know is I'm crying. I'm crying on the inside for our people, that the good in us was always greater than the evil in them. And the good in us now is greater than the evil in them. The problem that we have is not their racism, elitism, sexism, and all the stuff that they have working as a system to bring us down. The problem that we got is we don't know how great we are, how bad we are, how powerful we are to fix this situation. So I'm interested in black people that want to do something, make a difference. I'm taking my pennies over here and doing conferences, trying to have a black church where we talk about blacks in the Bible starting this thing. I'm trying to teach students in a way so they understand government and all that stuff, but they understand it also from a standpoint that they help develop civilization. Letting them know I don't care how bad racism, sexism, and elitism is. No, you're going to get a job. You're going to make it. No, we're going to figure it out. If you can't do nothing but paint, you paint until somebody pays you. If you can't do nothing but just fix cars, you fix cars until some business gets established. If you can't do nothing but sew, you sew until you finally begin to make some money. You cook until you solve the problem. You raise these children until you can raise almost everybody's child in the hood. Whatever it is, we're going to solve it, and the good in us is going to solve the situation. I would rather die with a tear in my eye, giving everything I got to help black people, than live like some of these folks live, like they good. And they living high off the hog, and they just concerned about themselves and their little money. A movement is getting ready to start because some powerful, determined black people are rising up, and they're realizing, no, we're going to make a difference now. We're going to solve the problem now. Money's coming back to our community now. And I want to link up with every black person that wants to do that. In the meantime, my black behind, like a Marine, gonna be out there, rain, sleet, snow, shine, whatever, trying to help black people. Convinced that we can solve this problem. You ain't got a right to be depressed. You ain't got a right to give up. I don't care how bad it is. It's time for you to dig down, stand up, and let's build this MF till we get the job done, and die and go find Ramses the Great, and go look at Ptah, whatever, and go find all them great people, Asantewaa, and all of them that talked like that built everything we got, and said, we live true like you. We came here to embrace you. We didn't live weak like those that have given up, like those just resorting to violence, and then think we can't solve this. I ain't worried about these racists. I'm worried about you. Whether or not you know we can fix this and you're going to come join me. We even going to teach white people how you're supposed to treat people. That's how I live. I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you about what I'm doing.
You give me inspiration to know that I have to keep going. That
you can't stop.
Whatever little bit I have, I got to keep going at it until it gets great. And but one other question was your book.
Yeah.
The book. Some of these people might want to see where they can get the book at. You know, where they can purchase it at. I got me one. I don't know about all of you guys, but y'all need to get one. You
got to get this. Shoestrings and bootstraps. Listen, I'm like that brother in the hood that's selling that stuff out the trunk. You want this book, you basically got to come see me. You can go to a black bookstore in your area and tell them about Carl Livingston. They'll find me and call me. But you can call me. You can call me up here at this school, 206-934-2922. Leave your information. Or you can go to a black bookstore. The black bookstores know how to get to these folks. I'm a professor at Seattle Central College. It's called Shoestrings and Bootstraps, a development plan for black America. I was asked to write this book. I wrote this book because we need a plan to build our community. And it cost me $30,000. I almost lost my house. It wasn't about whether or not I made money. It was about whether or not we built our community and we can pick up ourselves by our own bootstraps with the help of God. Can't do it alone. We do it together. Can't do it just as a people. We gotta do it with a great God behind us. But we can get our money right, get our families right, get our bodies right, get our community right. And this book is one of the answers that will tell you about that.